Alright, so coming to this day, quite the drop, around 100-point drop. Now last night in Asia session, we did that first free live stream. We hit our target of 800. Nice 55-point move. And then we eventually came down, came up and hit 830, and then we displaced lower, disrespecting this order block, and came back up. This bearish order block touched into a fair value gap here, and now we are sweeping sell side liquidity in that chop area from yesterday. Let's go on the higher time frame real quick. Take a look where we're at for the day. Alright, so went over the weekly chart last night. That's where we definitely took that trade at, because we had this order block right here. Had that order block right there. A weekly, we closed above it. That definitely started our bias for bullish last night. Now let's see where we're at. Because we hit 25,826. So we took out this high right here, and then came to this higher time frame order block and kind of rejected lower. Now right off the bat, we could be reaching for these lows right here. I haven't taken any trades today. Woke up pretty tired from that live stream last night. That's where we could be aiming for, possibly. Let's dive deeper into the chart, see exactly where we're at. Here we are on this 1 minute. Fresh funded account, got a new account funded. We're working on this one today. Let's see where we're at. So we do have a gap right here. But we have been trading through these order blocks pretty aggressively after already reaching into that higher time frame order block and one of the major price targets that we set on Sunday from the video. And we do have an inverse gap right here. Now we could reverse there. If we do reverse, we definitely want to see what it's looking like in this area. That's if we do go long. Not really interested in much right now until the market shows its hand, but this midpoint is at 25,586. See where we're at right now. So we are looking like we might want to reverse in this area. We've taken out lows. The market structure has shifted here. We came back down. We're holding this fair value gap and this order block. Now we want to see, does price disrespect these order blocks right here? If it does, if price can disrespect these order blocks, which it's looking like it might, we can actually see a move up to this gap up here. I'll mark it out. Possibly see a move up to this gap. I'm definitely going to need to see a little bit more because I'm not convinced with that. Let's look at the 5 minute. See, and there's no real fair value gaps, or not fair value gaps, but there's no real order blocks on this 5 minute except this one. So that could be our first price target, depending on if we get into a trade or not. But being that price is rejecting that 1 minute order block, it's not really looking too good for longs right now. Be patient. But what I do like though is just this inversion right here. I wouldn't be opposed to actually going long if we can get back into this inversion. Now if we did go long in here, around 63, 65, and then that stop could be at 25. We could have a 10-point stop just right here. Wouldn't be the safest stop just because we are in this inverse for value gap right here. I like that we came down into this gap in this order block, sent higher. So this area is good. It really wouldn't have to come down below here. We could set our stop at 595. Around 595, 600. So it would be like a 34-point stop. Just a little bit too much risk for what I want to take right now. And we get lower. Might jab into it. So the reaction here. Completely disrespected this gap. Yeah, my interest for longs is not really there. Because most importantly, we do have these lows right here that we're probably aiming for. And then we dipped right into this gap. That gap starting like right there, going all the way up to here, and then we reverse down lower. So, and then plus the order block. So price is looking pretty bearish. So we're gonna be aiming for this low. We'll make it some low hanging fruit. Aim for that low right there. Come down. Took out these highs right here. Displacement lower. You're gonna be looking at shorts down to this level, this 489 level. We just gotta look for a good entry. Our stops would be above here, right above this order block. Might go one contract right here, just off this inverse gap.
Order filled.
You're gonna have some stops right above here. If we can get back into this gap, might enter another contract. But for right now, we're just gonna frame the trade off that inverse gap right here. Now these aren't really good market conditions. I could very well get stopped. Also, we're pretty low. So we're only going in one contract. As much as I would want to slap 20 contracts right now, nah, I'm gonna chill. Market conditions are not that great right now. Or really, it's not even the market. It's just we've already traded so low. And we could very well come up and rebalance into this gap up here. But because we came up into this order block, rejected down, and then on the 5-minute, came into this gap, and then showed displacement down. That's why we're in here. Not a bad trade. I'm gonna see this order block hold price down. So we're only in one contract. Also, another thing to note, it is kind of chopping around, because even though we displaced lower and rejected off that order block, we're still kind of holding this gap and these order blocks right here. So it's really not a high probability trade. You definitely want to gauge your contract size on your risk and how probable the trade is to play out. Let's see what news we have. News in 20 minutes. Well, not 20 minutes, news in 2 minutes. No, it's not high impact news. But I don't actually want to be in a trade during that news. We'll see. I'm still not fully convinced on this trade unless we, disrespect this order block. If we come down below this, then we can definitely see that. It's not looking terrible right now. Alright, we got very low impact news in about 30 seconds here. Just in case it gets too crazy. I'm gonna set a stop right here. Just above that midpoint of these wicks. Alright, news in 3 seconds. Probably not gonna do much. Yeah, I'm really not liking this chop. You're always gonna find price chopping like this when like we're in between two like two important levels. We got this gap right here that we're in between, but then right under it we have some order blocks and another small gap. So that's when you see that you're definitely gonna want to see stuff like that. And that is the reason for the chop from yesterday. Like price chopped for like an hour yesterday. While we wait on that trade to play out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So look at this. This price action is disgusting. This was from 1, this was from like 2 o'clock to 7. And the reason for that is because you're always going to see that when you have stuff like this. We were right at an order block. I'll mark it out. Let me go back to this 5-minute. Take a look at the trade real quick, see what it's looking like. Alright, we're just kind of still chopping around. Just mark out these highs and lows. Because we were above an order block and below a fair value gap. So this is what it was looking like yesterday. So we had this fair value gap right here. And then we had this order block right here. And then because we had an order block above and a fair value gap, that's why we were kind of just chopping around back and forth. When you see like stuff like that, it's just your indication to not really get into the market until price picks a direction. Alright, back in this trade here. We're still just watching. Still just kind of chopping. Price is definitely not the best right now. Chop City. See what next news event we got. 12:15. Because this rejection off the order block and then the displacement lower shows me we do want to go low. It's just a matter of time. So this is where we're at right now. We're aiming for this 490s. Our entry is 597. I'm gonna enter in another contract and I got our stop at 646. Get in one more contract here.
Order filled.
Probably just play around with the chop with that one contract while holding that one until full TP. Market doesn't know where it wants to go now. Let's take a look here though. See what our risk to reward is at. Our risk, say right above that candle is high. We're aiming for 491. For 491, midpoint of that low. About a 2.6 R. Not a terrible risk reward. This fair value gap will add 2 more cons.
Order filled. Order filled.
This fair value gap entry right here, and then we're in that higher time frame fair value gap. Now it's nice to do things like that because you can get your average down, also securing a little bit of extra profit. So I'll be looking to just hold 2 contracts. I'm gonna get out these 2. As soon as we go back in the green, those just getting my average down a little bit. So I'll get out 2 contracts here. Let's see if we can go a little bit lower. Alright.
Order filled.
Get out 2 contracts there. Now I got my entry right where I wanted it into this fair value gap. We're just gonna hold these 2. Our first take profit will be down here below these lows. And our next one will be here. Market is definitely chopping today. You know what I might do? I'm really not liking price. I'm just gonna hold one con. Just because I don't like the choppiness. Unless we move down here, I'm gonna take a little bit of risk off. Okay, there we go. Starting to move down a little bit. If we get back above this halfway point, I'm not holding that chop. Market is choppy. Yo, no way as soon as I get on stream, market starts chopping. Been chopping for like 15 minutes. And keep the stream up for about 20 more minutes. I'm gonna put just one contract stop right here, just because I'm done with this chop right now. I'm not holding size, or not even size, but I'm not holding more than one contract in this chop. See, I'll give it another minute or so, or else I'm just sizing down to just one con. This is so far from entry. We're at nice, not a bad trade, honestly. I just don't like the chop. Just like to take out this low. Alright, there we go. I'm comfortable taking one con off there. Let's see, does it want to go? Take off one contract right here.
Order filled.
Oh, see, I'm tired. I accidentally sold another one instead of buying. Tells you how tired I am. Oh well. It's another reason why I'm low size today, because I'm so tired from last night. I'm over here selling when I'm supposed to be buying.
Order filled.
Took out these lows here. Take out another contract. Take out another con right here. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, take out one more con right there.
Order filled.
Alright. So now the trade is risk-free, pretty much. I really don't like the back and forth though. We actually did tap this order block. So we could reverse here. And we're in that little fair value gap. So that could have been another price target. So if price is gonna reverse, it could actually reverse here. If we do hit this TP right here, it would be about a 100-point trade. See where we're at right now. See, we could come back into this gap, approach this order block right here. Dog in the background. I enter in one con right there,
Order filled.
just off this gap. See if this can hold price down. It's actually not really looking like it wants to hold price though. Back to our original entry right here. That order block did reject price. It's not looking bad. this order block right here. Could slap 3 cons right here. Yeah, we'll go 3 cons
Order
right
filled.
there. Holding 5 cons. Risk is tight. I'll look for an initial move just below this fair value gap, just something light. Take some risk off. I'm just being patient here. We'll be looking to take a little bit of risk off. This is I'm not really liking price. Okay, right in that fair value gap. Take some off
Order
there.
filled.
And we'll go back to actually just holding one single contract. Just because I really don't like price right now.
Order filled.
Yeah, we're rejecting off this order block, but just because we had that reaction right here, we're really not liking how it looks. So we're gonna set a stop. We're gonna bring our stop down though we took out that low. It's right here. This would be the safest stop, but just because we're inside of the fair value gap right here, that wouldn't be the safest stop. So the best stop loss would be right here at 55. That is a 55 point stop from our entry. So that is risking $100, which is half of our profits for today already. So I'm really not liking that. So with that being said, our stop's gonna be this order block. Above that order block, we're out. Might look for another trade later. Now, it very well could stop me out, come up here, touch this gap, and then send lower. But I really don't care much about that. Most important thing is not worrying about how much money you can make or how much money you missed out on. It's protecting the money that you've already made. Because $200 might not be a lot. That's just one trade. There's millions of other trades to be made. Always opportunity in the market. Can't let greed get to you. Now, this is why I actually got out of those other 3 cons right here. Just because price continuing to chop. We're in this last con here. Still want to see this 490s. I'm not totally convinced that we're going to hit it. Just because of our reaction off of that 5-minute fair value gap. This move here. Because we're holding the order block. And it could go lower, but this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is when you have multiple PD arrays above and below. Like fair value gaps above, fair value gaps below, and then mainly on the 5-minute. Let me clear some of this stuff out. over, if we look right here, we have this order block right here, fair value gap somewhere in there, fair value gap right here, and all these things, and then fair value gaps above. Price can definitely chop around, but being patient, waiting it out. This is what we want to see now. A price came up to this order block, rejected lower, created a new low, came up, tapped into the gap, stayed below the midpoint, displaced lower. Now the only thing is we did rebalance into a 5-minute fair value gap over on this side. But now if we can stay below this gap, we can come take out this low in these. But because this area is so smooth with these highs, I do think price might want to come up and take out these highs. So in that case, we're going to put our stop right above the order block right here. And our take profit right here. And that's going to be that. Like I said, this isn't the best stop. This price very well could want to come take out these highs, rebalance into this gap, or tap into this order block and then send lower. But I really don't want to risk it just because we've already traded so low today. And of course, we do have these lows that want to be taken. We do have these lows. That's the higher time frame. But price could, it could want to come up in this gap. It's an unfilled gap up there. But we'll see. It's kind of in between two things here. Between this gap and between this gap. We want to see it. If we can trade below this gap and through this order block, we can send lower. That's what it really depends on. Move my stop down right here. Still waiting for this trade to play out. Risk-free trade. Got our stops in profit. Waiting for this low to be taken. And this is the power of not over leveraging. I over leveraged my trades for so long, stopping my success from being impatient. It's kind of funny because not being patient and wanting everything to happen faster ended up prolonging my success. Pushed it farther away. But by not over leveraging, you can kind of not really care about the trade outcome. Because if you're over leveraged, like 20, 30 contracts, you know, and your account equity isn't where it needs to be for a position that size, one trade can change your life. One trade should never matter. What should matter is your next 100 trades, your next 1,000 trades. It's not a sprint, it's just a marathon. You just want to stay in the game. And be able to take losses correctly. Because they do happen. No one wants to lose. But we're human and we're going to lose eventually. But we're in this trade right now. We're one of one. Technically 2 trades if you count a re-entry. I don't. So 1 trade for the day. We're currently up about 40 points. We're waiting to see it play out. Price has been choppy today, I'm not gonna lie. Probably get stopped in profit here. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, risk and hold. Now this is good, because think about all the engineered liquidity that we have below these 2 lows. The people that got in on this move, and then how their stop here came down. They probably had a nice sigh of relief once we stopped right here. So the market should come out and take out their stops. If it doesn't, I'll let you know price is bad today, which it is. Look at this chop. 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 Now we got equal lows right here. In this 1 minute, let's take a look at the 5, see what it's looking like. 5 minute doesn't look too bad. Came up, rebalanced into this gap. Now we can send lower. Got our stop right above the gap here. Not the best stop. We've already hit one of our targets, which was that low. So we're just gonna play it safe, protect profits, just because price is kind of chopping today.
I'm every soccer mom's top.
Yep, this is why we're not holding size, because of this chop. See, in good market conditions, price would have taken out these lows, but we keep coming down to a low, holding the low intact, coming down to a low, holding the low intact. And that's definitely, I'll show you why on the higher time frame. We're in between, look, clear everything out real quick. We're in between a lower time frame fair value gap and, well, the 15-minute and a inverse fair value gap. So we've just been kind of bouncing between those. And when you have a gap above and a gap below, that's when you get this chop. But I do believe we come down below these lows. This chop is ridiculous right now. Now just because of this, all this chop, I feel like price, instead of coming down this profit target, what we could do is just dip right below it. and then instantly trade higher to take out these highs and rebalance into this order block and then send lower, which I'm not going to stick around for. I'm going to end the stream this pretty soon as we get below these lows. Just going to take this just $300-400 for the day and just call it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Price is terrible today. It's all good. I'm gonna move our stop down because we're not sitting around in this all day. That's exactly what I just said. We just barely sweep out these lows and then want to trade up and not take out this for now because price is just kind of bad. Like I said, it's only because we got the 5-minute fair value gap and then a 5-minute inverse fair value gap above. And so that's why price really doesn't know what it wants to do right now. These are the conditions that you do not want to trade. And even before I got into the trade, even though we're up, a good 50 points on the trade, as soon as I got in, or even before I got in, I said, this isn't the best trade. It's not an A+ setup. Price is not that good right now. But just for the sake of the stream, there can always be a trade found in any condition. Now, do you want to trade any condition? Definitely not. Especially if you're just starting. Don't ever trade something like this. I still want to see price come down here. The only thing is that because we created these lows, dipped just below them, and then came back up and shopping around, makes me think price very well could come up, take out these highs, all these highs. Possibly, but it's not looking bad. We finally took out these lows. Can move our stop down to here. Top this order block is what we want to see. If we start chopping around again, I'm out of here. Prices are very slow. It's looking like Asia session. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I actually do love trading Asia session at night. I don't know what it is. All right. Price is bad. We're still waiting here. The price could come back into this gap, retouch this. I really not liking price at all. Being that we are like 9 points away from TP, I might just get out here. I just take the 400 and get off the charts because price is not good. We'll check back afternoon session, but let's see where we're at on the 15-minute. Very close. Like, we want those lows. Just be a little more patient. I got it. We'll hold this. See what we're looking like on Weevil. Yeah, so right here, that's that low that we're aiming for. So if you're trading options, that's who you'd be looking for at 617.53. 496. 496 is 100 points. We might just take it there. 100-point trade. We might as well just call it there, actually. I got distracted looking at Weeble, but 596, 100 points, that's good enough. We're in this fair value gap right here. Could reject. I really just see price just being dumb and just kind of doing what it wants right now, so let's go ahead and head out. We'll give it 2 more minutes. Alright, now we're back in this gap. Now the greed in me is like, oh, I should buy more contracts here because we're in that gap, but really price is not looking good. It's really not optimal conditions. So we're just going to hold the one that we have, see what it does. So I honestly, price is pretty bad right now. Alright, probably get stopped in profit here, possibly. We're rejecting that order block, but now we got to worry about this order block and this fair value gap. Big part of me wants to just slap like 5-10 contracts and just write it down like a 3-point move to get back that 50 or 60 so dollars that I just didn't get from not taking out of this low because I was on Weeble, but that's fine. That's not a good idea. That's where greed can definitely get a hold of you if you don't watch stuff like that. Say I bought 5 cons and Bryce wants to come out and take up all these highs, and I'm sitting there like, okay, now I'm in a little bit of drawdown, and then I want to buy more cons, and then the spiral starts, and then you blow the account. It's not what we're doing. Now, because we came all the way up here to this order block, if we come back down here, we're going to actually send much lower. We're going to send like down here. So move my target down. That's a good reaction though, because we haven't taken out the low, and we came back up into the order block and immediately rejected and did not close above, so it's not looking bad. Okay, Bryce wants to chop again. Might get stopped in profit here. Worst case scenario, if we get stopped, still 40-point trade. So not a bad thing. Now throughout trading, definitely got to keep your mind calm because you'll always have thoughts of greed. Like right now in my mind, it's, oh, you should buy 20 contracts, 20, 30 contracts right here off of this gap. Because if it sends just a little bit lower, you can make $1,000. But what those thoughts of greed never tell you is if the trade decides to want to take out these highs, you could be down 1,000. You could blow the account, and it's not worth that risk. It's not worth that risk. Now, $300, $340, $400 might not be a lot. It's not bad for one trade, for an hour. And as you slowly build up your account equity, those $300 days will turn into 1,000, 2K, 3K, 10K. It's just about building that foundation, those good habits, so that once you build your account equity to like a 500K account or 400K account, that you don't blow it. You're disciplined and patient. So in the beginning, don't worry so much about the number on your screen, about how much money you're making or losing. Worry about building those good habits. Now again, this is where I have my trailing stop. It's not really the best trailing stop. Like I said, I just want to kind of lock in these small profits while I'm building this account up. So on TPT, you do got to get above that buffer, this 2K buffer, because the drawdown is trailing until you get above 2K. So for right now, I'm gonna be smooth. We'll really start building this account up later on once we get above the 2K buffer. Which also doesn't have to be done in a day. TPT is a great firm. They have daily payouts, but that doesn't mean you have to make 2K in one day and get paid out the first day. Take your time with it. Market chopping around again. I'll give price 5 more minutes. If it doesn't start going close to my direction or touch my trailed stop, I would just end stream. Because price is not really moving today. Just because, like I said, we're in between both these 5-minute gaps. And then we're chopping here because we're in this fair value gap. We're also holding below an order block. When you got stuff like that, order block above, fair value gap below, or fair value gap above, order block below, you'll see this chop.
Stop filled.
Alright, so we hit my trail stop there. We're going to end stream there. 300 for the day, not bad. Probably stream again tonight. Now, my bias is still bearish just because we hit my stop here. Could very well, take out these highs and then eventually send lower. But I'm just not going to stick around to watch these highs get ran and come back up here. Alright, well, we're in the stream there. Great trade for the day. From trailing stop to entry, it's about 30-40 points. Not bad.